Hello and a very warm welcome. My name's Ben Hocking.
My name's Harry Eads.
And my name is Samuel Sade.
Hello and a very warm welcome. This is the Late Breaking Formula One podcast, and we have for you tonight the most prestigious award ceremony in the history of the world, the Late Breaking 2019 Formula One Awards. Of course, for such a prestigious event, we have got a full house. Harry and Sam joining me, Ben Hocking. Guys, are you psyched for giving out awards that people definitely care about?
Welcome to the Late Breaking Awards! I'm buzzed. I love it. I love the award episode.
And what everybody can't see is that we're all wearing tuxes.
Full press tuxes.
Yeah. And we have a red carpet laid out.
Imagine that scene in Step Brothers where they go to the job interviews and they're both wearing tuxedos. And he's like, "Hello, Miss Lady." That's all three of us right now.
Yeah, very much so. So we have got 12 awards to give out tonight. And I know all of the F1 drivers, all of the F1 teams are going to be sitting at home in anticipation of whether they are going to win. What are we going to call it? Like a Grammy? We've got to give...
An LB. An LB.
An LB. We'll go with an LB. We've definitely
I quite like that, actually. An LB.
I want an LB. Mum, I want an LB.
I'm never going to win one.
Who is going to win the first 2019 LB? We'll now find out, because the first category is Race of the Season. So actually, a person won't win this award. But we'll go ahead with it anyway. Race of the Season. Harry, what are you going to go for on this one?
We've had some good races, some bad ones. We've had some good ones, but the one I'm worried we're going to have a full house here. But the one that sticks in my mind is the chaos we had in Germany, because that was the race of the season. That could be the race of the decade, in my opinion. That was the craziest race. I think I'm only maybe second to Canada 2011, but it's that kind of level of craziness. But I even watched it back the other day. And there's something happening almost every lap. Something happens. Someone crashes. Someone spins. There's an overtake. Something's happening. Mercedes went back to the 1950s with their pit stops. There's something going on for the entirety of that race, and it's cray-cray, and I love it. It was wild. And Danny Kvyat got a podium.
I mean, everything was wild in that, apart from Hulkenberg threw away a podium spot. So
that was tragic.
Yeah, some things never change. But yeah, other than that, was an absolutely chaotic race. You are right. Sam, would you go with the same one, or are you going to offer up something different?
There are some incredible races have happened this season. One that stands out for me, Hungary, the absolute tension of Hamilton chasing down Max Verstappen lap after lap after lap. That was an incredible fight for first place. But Germany is the one that absolutely stands above the rest. Brazil was incredible as well. But, I mean, you had the constant changing of pole position. Lewis Hamilton battering it into a wall. Bottas getting as close to me dating Michaela Strachan. That's how bloody close he was to winning that race. He wasn't close. That's the point.
Why Michaela Strachan?
I fancied her as a kid. The point is, it was constantly changing. You never know what was going to happen. People were so close, yet so far, like us watching on the TV. Germany has to win race of the season. It was a race for the history books. It was incredible. So Godspeed to all those drivers in those conditions. The drag lane should be in every race with water all over it. I absolutely loved it. It was brilliant.
I really want to go against the grain here, but I can't. It was Germany. Germany was the best race this season. It was absolutely bonkers. I'll say Brazil is second for me. And one thing that I think Brazil had that Germany didn't. Of course, Germany was utterly chaotic, and you had surprise people on the podium. 2 in the case of Brazil, 1 in the case of Germany. And no disrespect to Kvyat or Stroll, who finished P4, but they were helped massively by a little bit of luck. In terms of Brazil, Gasly was leading the midfield the entire time, and I feel it was more of a justified reward that he finished P2 than maybe Kvyat finished P3. I mean, I'm clutching at straws here. Germany was incredible, but Brazil was a brilliant race as well. Who knew? I mean, with Germany, wet weather, we get good races as a result of it. Who knew?
Yeah, isn't it?
And the first LB of the night for race of the season, Germany!
Are you going to do that for every award?
Yes.
You've got 11 more to cope with, listeners. Rookie of the season. So this is the first award that is going to be handed out to an individual. So very prestigious here. For the purposes of this, we will classify Antonio Giovinazzi as a rookie, even though he did race.
Pointless.
He might get a vote.
Pointless.
He's not going to, but he might do. So essentially, you've got him, you've got Lando Norris, you've got Alex Albon, and you've got George Russell. Sam, of those four, who do you think was rookie of the season?
Great list of nominees. Would love to see their faces in the studio, out in the crowd when we bring up the big screen to show like their comedic little video clip that you get in award ceremonies.
Of course.
George Russell had no one to compete against other than his teammate. It is so difficult to commend George Russell. I think he wiped the floor with Kubica 21-0 in qualifying. So yeah, brilliant job. But it's just hard to really picture him against anyone else when you're at the back for so long. But mentally, full credit to him for getting through that season. It must have been a little bit dull. I think Giovinazzi doesn't get a mention for me. It was average. He did all right against Kimi occasionally, but it was an improvement on the last time we saw him race, which kind of proves that he isn't a rookie, but he kind of is. Albon, really, really, really impressed. Really impressed. He did so well to earn that Red Bull seat. He got himself up there in the top drive. He challenged Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen's still better, but he had some really strong races. But for me, he needed some milk. Lando Norris is rookie of the season. I mean, yes, okay, better by his teammate, but mostly better by his teammate due to bad luck. In Bahrain, we see him drive around the outside of Max Verstappen in his second race ever in Formula One. It was astounding. He makes his engineers cry. He makes us all laugh. He is so good when he needs to be. Defending is brilliant. Really hampered by some bad luck, and you can't really fault him for that. So yeah, for me, Lando Norris, the British milkman of Formula One, is the rookie of the season.
Harry, are you going in the direction of the milkman?
Yes, I am. Bring on the milk, as they say. No one said that. I don't know. Look, we've had, as Sam said, we've had a strong rookie field this year, and we're counting Giovinazzi, but he has still had a strongish season. He's been up against Kimster, you know. Albon, as we say, has had a very impressive year, a remarkable year, really. Perhaps more so than impressive, but he's earned that seat at Red Bull. George Russell, I think, has also been really good. We just haven't seen it. But yeah, it's going to have to be Lando Norris for me to come in your rookie year. And he's been, I mean, Sainz has been, we'll probably get onto this, but potentially driver of the year. And Norris outqualified him. 11-10 it was in the end, as Sainz stepped up a gear towards the end of the year, but he still outqualified him, which is impressive for your first year in F1, because we know how good Sainz is. So yeah, for me, it is the milkman. He's rookie of the year.
I mean, we've already got a majority on this one, so we know who's going to win. But I'm actually not going to go for Lando Norris. As good a year as he had, I'm going to go for Antonio. I'm joking. I'm not going.
You actually have me fooled.
But I am not going for Lando Norris. That bit was true, because I am going to go for George Russell. I think he was the rookie of the year. Of course, like you say, Sam, it is tough to tell, but he did beat Robert Kubica 21-0 in qualifying, which, even if Kubica might not be what he was 10 years ago, that's still very impressive in an F1 car. We saw in Hungary qualifying how good Russell could be, competing with cars that he had no right to compete with. And I think when we see him in a more competitive car, we will be able to more accurately judge just how great he is. I have full faith in his future. So George Russell is my rookie of the season. But Alex Albon, Lando Norris, to a slightly lesser degree, Antonio Giovinazzi. I don't think there was a bad rookie in this class. But Lando Norris is the winner of Rookie of the Season. So
and your winner for LB of Rookie of the Season, Lando Norris! I'll stop now.
I fully expect he's going Indy 500 star right now and downing himself in milk. Team Boss of the Year. Now, this could go in various directions, because I haven't really put best team boss. It's just who is your favourite team boss more than anything. Sam, who are you going for?
It's so tough to pick a favourite team boss. I mean, when you've got people like French Toast on the pit wall, egging on his team, and to be fair, Toro Rosso have had an astounding year. They've really done well this year. You know, in terms of midfield podiums, I believe they're above everyone else. So congrats to French Toast. He always leads a strong team. Christian Horner, the leg tap.
Hang on. You have to at least use his real name once, because people will genuinely think he's called French Toast.
He is, isn't he?
Yes, his name is French Toast.
Franz Tost is a very, very good team boss. Toto Wolff with the banging on the table. Horner with the leg twitch. Bonotto with the curly hair. What a handsome man he is as well. Delightful.
Man.
Claire, I don't know how she manages to get through all of the rubbish, but that spirit is so strong. But for me, it's got to be. I think it's Toto. Not only for the actual success of getting through the trials and tribulations of managing Mercedes, it's so tough to manage that team. I reckon it is probably quite difficult to maintain such an incredible winning streak. But he did hold off the pressure of Ferrari, of Red Bull. He's managed to create this perfect relationship between Hamilton and Bottas. He keeps his drivers incredibly motivated. Year on year, I'm astounded by how well he manages a Formula One team, how well he is so good at keeping calm, even if he does love to bang a good desk. But Toto Wolff and then French Toast just in second place, slightly burnt.
Slightly burned French Toast comes in second to the Wolfinator. Harry, who are you going for?
It's only one winner for Team Boss of the Year, and it's Team Boss of the Century. It's Günther Steiner.
Making us look like a bunch of assholes.
It's got to be. How could it not be? He wins. Like, Haas have had a terrible year, but he still wins Team Boss of the Year. I don't care. The man, he's an enigma. He's a myth. He's a legend. I can't wait to see Drive to Survive Season 2. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, he's an absolute talent, isn't he? He's a gem.
He is a gem. Oh, yeah, for me, it's Günther.
Harry, you said that Günther Steiner is the best team principal of the 21st century. I'm going to go one better and say he's the best person that's ever lived.
Just so we're aware, everyone, Ben has parents. Ben has a partner. He has siblings, and he knows us too. So he puts Günther above everyone.
And let's face it, it's not even close. I mean,
he's a long way ahead.
Yeah. I mean, it's a bit of a 30-second Hamilton win when it comes to team bosses. Günther Steiner ahead of everyone else. Günther Steiner is a certified G. The man is a legend. I can't wait for Drive to Survive. I wish it was here tomorrow. So yeah, Günther Steiner gets my vote, and because of that, Günther Steiner, Sam.
Günther Steiner wins your LB award for Team Boss of the Season. Also, can we get an honorary award next year, the Günther Steiner Award?
Yes.
Oh, maybe.
And we could give it to like a special person in the sport.
Günther Steiner.
Every year.
All right. Rivalry of the season. Now, this one could be Günther Steiner against mere mortals, but there might be other offerings out there. Harry, who do you think was rivalry of the season?
Rivalry of the season, we've already mentioned them, but I'm going to go for Norris and Sainz, because that's been a tasty, tasty battle, and even tastier for the fact that they basically love each other off the track. Like, they have the biggest bromance in the world. Yeah, that's been such a great battle to watch this year. And it's never come to, they've never banged wheels. They're just fiercely competitive. And it would, momentum would swing throughout the weekends. There might be one gets the other in quali, and then in the race it switches back again. And as Sam said earlier, I think if it hadn't been for some bad luck on Lando's part, he might have been closer or even ahead on points by the end of the year. That for me has been and unexpectedly as well. I thought Sainz would probably win this year. My predictions probably go against that, but even so, I think unexpected and enjoyable as that rivalry has been.
Fair enough. Sam, who are you going for?
Surprisingly, there's been a few interesting rivalries throughout the season. You've got classics like Lance Stroll v Sergio Perez. That one will go down in history.
Go Stroll.
Funny enough, one that I didn't think really emerged was Bottas and Hamilton. That didn't really ever feel like a rivalry. It just felt like two very good drivers fighting out at the front. Unlike Seb and Leclerc, where I feel like there needs to be news around it for it to be a real rivalry. Grosjean and Magnussen, they just love running into each other. But I actually have to agree with Hazard, our dear friend. Sainz and Norris, the smooth operator versus the milkman himself. I love it. I love it on and off track. They are brilliant people. They've done McLaren proud. They, for me, are the rivalry of the season.
No, fair enough. Sainz against Norris is a good contender, as is Toto against Tables, Grosjean against Walls, Kubica against being quick. I'm sorry, Robert. I am sorry. I'm going to go for something different, even though it's completely for you. So I'm going to go with Chuck Leclerc against Maxi Verstappen. I really like their rivalry back in Austria. That was fun. Bit of controversy, bit of angst, and then they followed that up with the British Grand Prix as well. So, and that was probably an even better deal, where they just did not care for one another at all, just forcing each other off the circuit wherever they felt like it. I think the stewards were like, nah, I'm not even going to touch this. There's no point. And it was great fun. So I think it's the sign of things to come as well. Leclerc and Verstappen could well be a battle over a world championship many times over the next decade. So I'm going to go with Leclerc versus Verstappen. But, of course, the winner is therefore...
Sorry, just honorary mention for Bottas and Porrick as well. That is an incredible rivalry.
Not a rivalry.
The LB winner for Rivalry of the Year is this smooth operator. Smooth operator. And the milkman, Carlos Sainz and Lando Norris.
These are getting more ridiculous. I thought they might go the other way.
Thanks for watching our video. We really appreciate it. For more content, make sure to subscribe to the Late Breaking YouTube channel. And to join in the conversation with us three Muppets, then get on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. We're on all three. And remember, keep breaking late.